good evening, good afternoon, and good morning, everyone. Welcome to Connect Africa. So, we are here on our Friday evening session where we bring you what's happening in the continent, and particularly as we follow on a daily basis what's happening in the Sahel states. So, this one is kind of a breaking news. Now, the United States Trump administration has sent an envoy from US to Captain Ibrahim Traoré's administration in Ouagadougou. Now, to discuss that, we have here the Pan-African Dr. Benjamin Anyagre. Last time he was here as he took part in that Thomas Sankara's monument inauguration and the Pan-African meeting with Captain Ibrahim Traoré. So welcome once again, Dr. Anyagre.
Thank you. Good evening, my sister. And greetings to your audience.
All right, then I am sure they have received that. So let's dive into it. So here is what one of the, the one who is leading the envoy said. And I read, it's a quote. He said, I come today with a message from President Donald Trump, which is to work together to build a pragmatic relationship based on mutual respect and respect for each country's sovereignty. We can collaborate with each other, work together to face challenges and improve our relations. Quote closed. So that's like one of the main things that he said from the invoice. So what I am going to ask is that this is the same United States, the same Donald Trump administration, which just a week ago, who has invited, I wouldn't say invited, but he has agreed to meet President Cyril Ramaphosa of South Africa and ambushed him in front of the world in that Oval Office in the White House. And it's the same Donald Trump who said during his first presidency time, who called Africans as shitholes. And this is the same president who, when he came during his second presidency, who actually warned African countries who joined BRICS, and if they are thinking to ditch US dollar for a BRICS currency, that then they can forget their relationship with the United States. So all kinds of things that we have seen degrading Africa. I mean, Africa never been in the priority of, I think, White Office, in the White House, but now sending envoy to Burkina Faso after watching all that, turbulence, after his AFRICOM commander commenting and accusing Ibrahim Traoré using natural resource for personal security. What can we make out of this? How can we understand this move from the US?
Yes, my sister, he first ambushed President Cyril Ramaphosa at the White House, of which the president of Ghana saw the attitude of Donald Trump to be an insult to all Africans. Mm-hmm. Again, Donald Trump is bringing envoys to Burkina Faso in the name of working together with respect. Mm-hmm. Since when have they really noticed that they need to treat African countries with respect? Recently, they tried to bulldoze their way to disrupt the Burkinabe government, but they didn't succeed. The turnaround shows that the massive support of the people for the government of Burkina Faso under the leadership of Comandante Ibrahim Traoré is something overwhelming. Mm-hmm. It's something that has overflown. and spread across Africa, beyond the Atlantics. And so they know that the power of the masses are something that they cannot joke with. And so they are resorting to diplomacy. And all of a sudden, bringing envoys there is enough for the government of Burkina Faso to open their eyes. You wanted to come with force. You've been rebutted with some kind of massive support for the cultural revolution of Burkina Faso. And now you think you can go back to the drawing room, your neo-colonial drawing room, and begin to design something to come like, oh, we now respect you. You can fool us. You've been fooling us, but you can't continue to fool us. The people of Burkina Faso are awake. They are vigilantes. They are vigilant, watching everything in their country. If you step foot on that soil, the land of upright men, they are watching and ready to face you. So if you come with your mind, fine, they are watching. And Africa is watching. Everybody is watching.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. That's a very good point. So yeah, as the great messenger, I would call, or reggae singer, as the rest of the world knows him, Robert Nesta Marley, he said, you can't fool all the people all the time. So this is the time that the people have awakened, and they will always see, wow, okay, what does this mean? And this is the very reason that we are having this discussion. Now, the U.S. is also known, on also other, who used to be colonial powers. When we say the United States, people think that, okay, it has not been a colonizer as Europe, after that, the Berlin Conference of 1884. But we shouldn't forget that U.S. had a direct hand in the apartheid of South Africa. So anyway, now U.S. is known also to use its diplomacy to arm twist certain governments that are not bowing to their demand. So with their, diplomacy, with their non-governmental organization, it could be, I don't know, name it, but they kind of infiltrate with that kind of institutions. So can you incite an example, and if this could be one of those things?
Yes, of course. And first of all, let me tell you that the Berlin Conference of 1884 to 85, I came across a document that stated that the USA, they were there as observers.
Wow. Okay.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
And like you said, they will use diplomacy. They will use their state institutions, USA. They will create NGOs.
Yeah.
Even through the international bodies of the UN.
Yeah.
They will use all those structures simply to serve the interest of the US. So now they know that power really resides with the people. And the people of Africa and Burkina Faso have demonstrated it with their massive support for Commandant Ibrahim Traoré. So they'll use every means to disturb the regime, the administration. Look, my sister, let me tell you something very important. The diplomatic missions are used to sabotage and overthrow governments in many parts of the world.
Yeah.
They used it against Kwame Nkrumah. William Mahoney, who was the US ambassador in 1962 to 1965, worked directly with the US State Department and the CIA. with sellout and traitors in Ghana. And they worked it out to overthrow Kwame Nkrumah. Why? Because Kwame Nkrumah's activities, his programs were geared towards the prosperity of the Ghanaian and Africans. And he didn't do it by words, he did it. We saw the factories he built. We saw all the initiatives he took, import substitution, industries. But they didn't want that. They didn't want that. Why? And I keep on asking myself, during the days of slavery, they exploited our people. Our people labored in the cotton and sugarcane farms for them. During the days of colonialism, they exploited us, they excavated our human, our natural resources, and they are continuing in a neo-colonial era. What do they want? Haven't they looted enough? What do they want again? And all the strategies they've used to overthrow governments, infiltrate into governments, to sabotage governments, to make governments unpopular, the documents are there. The data is available. So it is not something new. We only need to go back and pick those documents and look at how they work. And that's what, look, they haven't changed. They only improve upon their methods. They'll come in with force. If they see that that forceful manner is not working, they'll resort to all other means. They've done it before. The documents are there, they're available. We don't need to reinvent. And they code name all these operations. They code name them. And so what is going on in Burkina Faso is something that the administration of Commandant Ibrahim Traoré, they know. I'm sure they are very, very much aware. They know, their eyes are open with what they've gone through with the assassination attempt on the leader of the revolution. They are awake. They know. And they are not only awake, but conscious African is awake. Any conscious African is awake.
Yeah.
Like you said, they can fool us, but not all the time. Bob Marley said, for how long shall they shall they continue to kill our prophets while we stand aside and look?
Exactly.
We should wake up. These tricks are enough. The tricks are enough. What do they now want in Burkina Faso? They were initially coming with force. Now they are coming with diplomacy.
Yeah. Now, one of the things, now, thank you really for that insight, Dr. Anyagre. One of the things that now Donald Trump is known, especially in his second term in office, is that he make transactional peace, what we call, even this term became very popular in his time, as he said, trade for any kind of, things that countries need from the United States. He did it with Zelensky to take Ukraine's mineral and then instead sell, and then in exchange to sell their weapons, which Biden was just sending it like that. And then to DRC, shamefully, I mean, really sadly, Tshisekedi didn't want the Eastern African force, the Eastern African Community Peacekeeping Mission. He didn't want the SADC force, nothing. He just wanted the same international peacekeeping mission that's coming outside of Africa that he kicked out. And now he wants the US to intervene. And guess what? What Donald Trump told him is that we need your minerals, and then with that we can intervene. And then he said, please, he begged them, Tshisekedi, Felix Tshisekedi, come, I will sell you my mineral, and please intervene in my country. So that's shameful, but it works for when it comes to Donald Trump. Do you think that is the US perhaps, if Burkina Faso sells its minerals, its gold, to the US, something will change? And should Burkina Faso do it, if that is the deal behind the scene? This is not, of course, something for media consumption, but yeah.
What is happening is that Burkina Faso wants fair trade. Fair trade, not win-lose trade. Win-win situation. Mm-hmm. So if you come with good terms, I believe the government would accept. But at the same time, the government will be vigilant. Mm-hmm. Using businesses to infiltrate, to overthrow a government is something that they will also open their eyes on. You see, the only way out for Africa is to unite. The Continental Union government, which Kwame Nkrumah and his colleagues preached about, is something that must happen. That's the only way out for Africa. They are bullying us because we are in a splinter state. Small entities called independent states. The only way, the solution to our problem is to unite. And we see the Burkinabe revolution and the Sahel alliance as the nucleus of the new Continental Union government, which all Africans must support, which all Africans must be ready to die for. If we do that, we'll be able to protect properly our minerals. Because we are united. In unity, there's strength. We can bargain properly. And we have the capacity to turn our minerals around within Africa and help grow Africa and transform Africa for our children.
Yeah.
Look at what is happening in the Congo.
Yeah.
For how long will the Congolese continue to suffer? There's no peace there. For how long? Continental Union government will swallow all the challenges of the Congo. And that is what African leaders should be, should be mindful of. You look, now President Cyril Ramaphosa, do you think Trump can do this to the Chinese president? What he did to President Cyril Ramaphosa? No. Do you think he can do that to the Indian president? He can only do that to African presidents, of whom he continues to describe the way he wants. But you see, my sister, this is a wake-up call for Africans ourselves. No. This is a wake-up call for us to know that we must begin to look within. Necessity is the father of invention. Let's begin. Let's look within. Nkrumah said it. When we make mistakes, we look at it and correct, and then we go ahead. Let's look within. We are dependent on them so much, so they take us to be too cheap. It's like you have some corn, some grain of corn, you throw it on the floor, and chicks go running after. That's how they are treating us, and they disrespect us. Meanwhile, we have all it takes to be ourselves, to be a powerful competitor. We've been asking for a UN veto seat. What has become of it?
Nothing.
What has become of it?
They knew exactly because they knew nothing will come out of it. That's why they're just throwing it.
The only way is to unite. We should come together. The boundary between Ghana and Burkina Faso should be erased immediately. I am appealing to President Mahama, just like the way he invited Commandant Ibrahim Traoré to Accra for his investiture, to use that same spirit to erase that boundary,
Okay.
to close, to pull those barriers or those blockages down. Free movement of people and goods and services. We are one.
True. Now, I have a final question for you, Dr. Anyagre, and that actually comes, I'm taking a point from our greetings to you, all our viewers, and I like to bring their input. James and Cherai Lucas, don't trust America, keep them out of your country. And then Big Bumblebee, okay, good, thank you for being here. Now, S.S. Smith has raised a good point. She or he says, I think Burkina Faso needs to be careful. How does one go from trying to delete the leader to wanting to trade with the leader? The last attempt on his life was recently. And with that, I want you to comment on that, and what is your message to Burkina Faso, Burkinabes, or the Burkina Faso government, and to the African people who are really watching what's happening there. Quickly.
Yes, what I'm saying is Burkina Faso should be very, very vigilant. And they should watch internal traitors. They should watch internal traitors, because the US and other countries, Western powers, they use diplomacy, the Vienna Convention, to relate with citizens and do all that they want, just because they have one aim: to overthrow the government. It happened to Nkrumah. It happened to Nkrumah. They should learn from the example of Ghana. Ghana would have been 60 years ahead in development. Like Ghana could have been equating today with China, Singapore, Japan. But look at where we are today.
Yeah.
If they make a mistake, and allow these people who only are interested in their interests to come there with tricks, all manner of tricks. So Burkinabis, open your eyes. Every Burkinabe should become a security agent. Watch your neighbor, who enters, who goes out. Because we cannot afford to lose this revolution in Burkina Faso.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the most important. We can't. We just can't.
We can't.
I don't know in how many generations it can happen again. So we can't.
My sister, in this 21st century, the first quarter of the 21st century, we have a revolution in Burkina Faso that is shedding light, enlightenment, and showing leaders that yes, they can. And that they can also. Why? Trump is a president of a sovereign state. Cyril Ramaphosa is a president of a sovereign state. But look at what he did to him.
Yeah. So you are saying Burkina Faso have to be vigilant, the people, the government, but also in the beginning you said they are, because of their experience, what they went through in the past 2 years, ever since Captain Ibrahim Traoré has come to power, that by itself made them very, very vigilant, right? That's your...
My sister, let me add something.
Okay, please.
There's one thing they use. There's one weapon they use: money. They know very well that many people are vulnerable to money. And they cut the money. They print the money. They can decide to print how much they want, and they bring it down here to Africa and buy people to sabotage their own government. They use money. And they know that Africans, many of us are vulnerable to money.
Yeah, that's
So
the
we should be very, very careful. We should be very, very careful. The money they will give you, how much can they give you? When they give you you reside in an undeveloped country, will you be happy? Your children will come and suffer. So Africans, look, Burkina Faso revolution is not only for Burkinabes alone, it is for all Africans. It is our own. It is our own. We are all citizens of Burkina because we are African.
Yeah.
So it is our duty to protect Commandante Ibrahim Traoré and then his administration and government, who are doing something very, very good, excellent. Go to Burkina Faso and see. Transformation is going on in Burkina Faso.
All right, then we should end it there. Thank you very much, Dr. Anyagre, for all the insights that you bring to us with regards to the Sahel. And also, next time we meet Dr. Anyagre, he's going to bring to us, because I want us to get an update with this gold, the output product, which President Mahama made those exporters to give 20% from their output. We want to get an insight of that, but next week we will let you know here at Connect Africa when he will be here next week and give us that insight. But for now, thank you very much. And I would like to thank Cecil Smith. Thank you very much for your kind donation. It means a lot for us. We want to be here often, every hour. A lot is happening. So before the mainstream media own our own narrative and bombard you with their narrative and propaganda, we want to be here first and give you that Pan-African perspective. So
my sister,
for that, we need your support. Yes.
I beg you, let me say something to you, the media.
Okay.
The media of the US have been put together to serve the interests of the US. The media of Europe, they have been put together to serve the interests of Europe. The media in Africa must begin to realize that, look, they have a duty to change Africans' minds with the truth. When we are talking of sellouts, it isn't only individuals who can be called sellouts. The media can also be called a sellout media.
Yeah.
Any media who works for neo-colonial masters, they are equally puppets, like puppets governments working for the colonial master. Thank you.
All right, then. Thank you, Ben. Your point is taken. Yeah, Burkina Faso has to look in also.
Congratulations to your media.
Thank you very much. Yeah, Burkina Faso has to look in more internal security. So I just want to read out loud because I find it very interesting. So thank you once again, Dr. Anyagre, and have a good evening. And everyone who was here for your comments, suggestions, for those who are just watching as well. Thank you. And please share the video with others. Support us through our PayPal account, Buy Me a Coffee link. You can find it in the description section. That was it for now. And we will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye.